Happy Friday. A special shout out to my YouTube viewers who this is going to be uploaded later. As I told you, my signal just hasn't been good on my computer to stream live. So I'm Master Naima. I am here in the world to help. Well, it's a big picture right here. What I can say is helping melanin transformational leaders and Black masters come into power with money. What time is it? Am I able to? No, I'm not able to. Whoever just joined, can you tell me what time it is where you are? Am I like right on the dot? 12? I'm just curious. 12 o'clock. So the money, so melanin transformational leaders coming into money with their unique intelligence. Excuse me. This pen is bothering me. No, I can't even hardly find it. Okay. And the reason, there are distinct matters for melanin folk to address, which is why you're hearing me say this and perhaps have not heard me say it much, in the past. There are distinct matters for melanin transformational leaders when it comes to what we have inherited, what we're dealing with in this climate, like how much is being awakened and activated in this climate, and how that affects the ways we're able to show up in our businesses and our leadership, which directly affects the money that we make. And so the title of this video, Who Will You Be to Create More Than Enough Money in Your Transformational Business, is about the cause which affects the effect, right? The cause is who you be. The effect is what you end up creating because of who you be. So, I have a wide variety of people who pay attention to me who are at different financial levels, different levels of consciousness, who I am particularly interested in serving are those who are astute enough, right? You've been around enough, like you're not new to this, right? You're not like, the things I'm saying aren't like blowing your mind because you're just hearing it, okay? You have experienced a lot of pain and went deeper down into the pain, right? So pay attention to what I'm getting at here. This is who I'm interested, like this is who will receive the most benefit. And even others could receive a lot of benefit too. I'm just saying who I'm feeling really called to support. Those who, like I was on the phone this morning with a powerful woman leader. And I was telling her, there's just so much. What I know, what I can see in my experience is that while many of us, like who I was 7 years ago, may have had a hard time leaning into who I am today. Well, obviously, right? I didn't at the time, but like I'm here now. And so those of you who are really gonna be able to step into the intelligence that I teach that's gonna then allow you to create plenty of money are those of you who are not new to high spirituality. Those of you who are, right, you're not new. And so another thing that's been, I have so much to talk about. Wow, I have so much to talk about. So who will you be? Who will you be? Let me tell you what's required of you. This is good. What's required of you to have such emotional maturity that you can respond to the communication that's even there all the time. The high spiritual intelligence that's there all the time. And the reason you perhaps up till now have been able to really respond to it and who you're being is because of the underdevelopment of your emotions. So here's required. This is what's required of you to be. Such high emotional maturity. Being able to, at will, look at a situation and make it mean what you choose that it means. Or have it mean nothing at all. Did you get that? Have it mean what you wish for it to mean at will. And you decide what it means based on your understanding of the laws. So one of the things that was discussed in this meeting this morning is about that this is all, that there are laws. There are laws. And when a person is truly, you can choose to play with the laws. You can like choose not to be here at all. Like I asked her, I said, have you like had thoughts about like not being here anymore? And she was like, yeah. And we talked about that. And we talked about this leader who ended up killing herself and all the pain she experienced. And I've experienced my own pain. If you've experienced yours, right? Just deep pain, right? And what did you do with it? What happened with it? So when you are called by God to do this high work and be paid well for it, the pain is really a call into you coming into intimacy with the highest level, which is the all. If a person, when a person, because I've questioned in the past, like, why do some people make it through and come out better? And why do some people make it through and come out worse? Like, why? Like, and it's true that many are called and few are chosen. I wish, there's a part of me, like my human self wishes that weren't true. My human self wishes like, it's available, right? Everybody's gonna win. Everybody's gonna win. My human self feels like that, you know? My high self knows that it doesn't work like that. So what's required of you to lead and to be able to command money, and it's not even the money you're really commanding, it's commanding yourself is what you're really commanding. You're commanding your own emotions. You're commanding how you navigate conversations with people about things, the way you see things, the way people respond to you, events that happen that feel like they fuck you up, right? Being able to handle spiritual warfare, like, so there's that when you're called under high spiritual intelligence. And then there are those who, you got to understand, people have asked me, well, why is this person doing so well and she's making this money and she doesn't seem to be, bothered by this or plagued by this. She seems to do this well. There are levels here. There are levels. And once you become highly self-aware and you start to understand the way the laws work, it makes sense. Not everybody is sourcing from the all, and you either get that or you don't, right? If you don't get it, then it's not for you. Some people are sourcing from a universe. Do you understand that there are millions of universes? It's not just the one generic universe that Abraham Hicks told you about. There are a universe. I am a universe. We're all universes. So different people are sourcing from different universes in their manifestation. And you are able to source from the highest level depending on how you've been able to navigate being a human being, how you've been able to handle spiritual warfare, how you've been able to handle deep suicidal pain, how you've been able to do the mental processing that is required for you to deal with. Thank you for the heart, whoever gave me that. Who's there? Say hi. Like, however you're able to handle these things. So it's not Like, this is not something to fight about and debate about. It just is, you know? And so you must know who you are. What I'm saying is, those of you who you are clear, like the leader I was talking to this morning, she was saying she got a past life regression, and she was told in her session, and it confirmed something that she was sensing. Hey, Cynthia, that that she is from the architects of the world. What did she say? The architects of, can't remember exactly, but it was another way of saying the all. Like, why? Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into this because this is like a class, right? This intelligence should be in a class so I can really get into it, allow myself to be open up to all the intelligence that would come through as I start talking about it, perhaps answering questions. What I'll say ultimately, though, is to who I'm interested in serving and who I am serving. So you should put did I put the link with this video? I don't think so. I will, for you to send me your email. Is those of you who you function at a high spiritual level, you're a leader, you're melanin, and you're very clear that you're meant to make plenty of money with your spiritual gifts, with your unique abilities, with your particular wisdom and your skill in that domain. And I don't know anybody. If you know somebody, great, go. That's wonderful. I'd like to know who they are. And I'd like to see more of us in public, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing. But I'm showing you, really, okay, this is the value. I was thinking about this before I went live. Okay, so Naima, explain the value. Here it is. One, the structure and the accountability, okay? Courses are popular, right? People buy courses. And courses are great. They have their place. And there's no accountability in a course. There's no structure in a course. So that's one of the things that you get when we work together, the structure and the accountability. Two, being able to even just connect with me, and right? There's something you desire to talk about. There's something you desire to ask, you know, and you really are like desire to be present with this information. You have me, someone who's highly attuned, someone who, I was watching a video of a man who talked about the heightened levels of spiritual attacks on people who are incredibly bright, and that their work in the world would brighten so many people, and that because of that, the level of attack that they get. And so that sounds horrible, but once you start getting spiritually attacked and you're aware of it, and you learn how to circumvent spiritual attacks, that puts you in a supreme state of intelligence. My God. And so that's who I am. That's what you get from me. That's one of the values that you get by working with me. So that's another reason to enter your email with the link with this video. Number three is, if we're in a group setting, that means there are other men and women, mostly women, and maybe some men who desire to be in relationship with me as you desire to be in relationship with me. So you get to network with them, right? So that's a special demographic of people. So that's another value. 4, it is encouraged and normal and expected for you to look at your numbers and make good money and feel good about making good money. You see? So those are the 4 things that I think you would care to know about the value of working intimately with me, whether it's in a group situation or a private relationship, which both are an opportunity. So I have not yet made an offer for what that group opportunity will look like. To be notified of it, send your email, and you send your email by clicking the link with this video. So to finish off what I was saying about what's going to be required of you to create more than enough money in your business. By the way, like I'm not sure. I'm saying it because maybe it's important for you to hear. But I've created plenty of money. I've did 7 figures, and I'm really saying this for your brain, for those of you who still need that. And I know need is not an ideal word, but what has been revealed to me in conversations with other melanin leaders is how much Black leaders in the transformation and coaching space don't know. And stuff that I thought was common knowledge, they don't know, right? The common knowledge about programs versus single sessions, or about recurring income versus one-off clients. Like, I thought it was common knowledge that you create recurring income in your business and that this is how you do it. I thought it was common knowledge that you have a long-term program, and like, I thought that was common knowledge. And so other things in these conversations, I'm realizing one of the reasons why Black transformational leaders are struggling is because they don't actually know how the business of this works. When I say the business of this, I mean working in the realm of transformation, coming forward rich as a spiritual being with your intelligence and knowledge, then cultivating the business acumen and the business structures and skills, how marketing works, how psychology works with people, and then buying. The way messaging works, the way structure works, the way accountability works, the way setting up payments in a certain way works. Like, we have a lot to learn. And one of the benefits of me being in these $30,000, $50,000 programs, hey, Olivia, one of the benefits of me being in these $30,000, $50,000 business coaching programs with white leaders is how much is taught there about marketing and business and the psychology of it all. Little things that make a big difference, like, let's say your goal is $10,000 this month or whatever, right? Let's say your goal is $10,000. You just plug in your number, right? Or let's say your goal is $100,000 for the year, right? That's the goal, but add 13%. So that if you're going for whatever 13% on top of $100,000 is, you increase your chances of actually making $100,000. Because psychology has shown that when a person is reaching toward a goal, sometimes they'll get close to it and let that be okay and calm down, versus if you go 13% beyond your goal and you go for that, you dramatically increase the chances that you'll actually exceed your goal and make more than $100,000 in that year. So it's little business thoughts, business psychology and thinking that really make a difference between people who watch a bunch of free videos and do nothing versus those who get inside of structure and container, as I said, inside of a business coaching program, inside of the structure and accountability of a relationship with a coach, and actually make money and actually start to change and actually start to see themselves differently in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So when I talk about who will you be as a melanin transformational leader to have more than enough money in your business, this is what I'm talking about. Coming inside of a container and allowing yourself to navigate the hard feelings, because first of all, it's difficult alone just to change. Then being in the climate that we're in right now. And so that's just the value you have of being with me. I hold a very high standard, and you will love and hate that. The lower nature ways that just so, like, as you're working to rise in income, you decide, okay, I'm going to get 3 new clients this month at, a 6-month package at $5,000. Let's just say that's what you're going for, and it's the first time you've ever did such a thing. As you go to rise, you'll feel the old spirit of you like pull for you to behave and think and talk, you know what I mean, in ways that are not in service to this goal that you have up here. And so that's one of the beauties of being in accountability and structure. Like, so many Black transformational leaders and coaches somehow think that they can go to YouTube and YouTube it to 6 figures, YouTube it to 7 figures, YouTube it to whatever. Being in the container where there are weekly goals, where there's structure, where you have somebody who's looking at you from a high position, regardless of the petty ways that your lower self tries to take you out of the game, that stuff makes a huge difference. And it's time for us to come together. It's time for us to come together. You know why? Because I've, have been very upset about this and talking to people and watching and seeing. And I be in these programs, and even lower programs where there's like freaking 200 people in the program, and the program is $10,000, right? Because there's levels to this. And there's a few more Black people in these lower programs, or like maybe $10,000 to be involved. But I see the way these white transformational leaders, coaches, teachers, healers, there's fucking collaboration. They work together. They'll do like this project, this thing. They'll refer this. They'll, and there's a bunch of them doing it. So you wonder why there's a bunch of white women and men out here winning financially, because a bunch of them are fucking collaborating and multiplying all over the place and helping each other and holding each other in highlight and encouraging others and keeping going and being committed and making goals and holding each other accountable and signing up for each other's programs and spreading each other's programs. That's why it's working. It's not because they're smarter or any other unconscious thoughts you could be having about, oh, because it's meant for them and it's not meant for us. Nah. It's because it's time for us to, first of all, commit that we're going to make making money and service equally important, right? That's a big thing, especially for those who come from the church. What I've learned by talking with people who come from the church, men and women, where it's so much about service and it's never about money. And so having difficulty with putting your high spiritual intelligence out there, your training, your content out there, and making money be equally important, then getting into a mindset of more than enough, which is a lifestyle. That's not just some 30-day course. More than enough money throughout your whole being is a lifestyle. That's something else that you learn when we work together. So all this is all of who is required of you to become. Say hi to me. I see you guys piling in. So this is what's required of us to make the money. And the money is here. It's all over the place. You understand? We're talking about an online coaching transformational business. We're talking about you marketing online and reaching people in Africa. You know how many people from Africa are like DMing me here on my business page, commenting, emailing me? Do you understand that when you're online, you're reaching the whole world? So this is another thing I don't see that Black transformational leaders are really getting in a deep, deep way that's impacting the way they move. When you get online and you market your business, you are open to people from Sweden seeing you, from France, from China, from, well, no, they don't even allow Facebook in China. They have another platform. From all over the world. You're going to have people looking at you from all over the world. My clients have been all over, literally, Hawaii, Germany, Ireland, Australia. Do you recognize? And when you get out of this, another problem is so unfortunate in the Black community. And I've mentioned this about how we only see ourselves selling to ourselves. We only see ourselves, like we only think Black people are going to buy from us. Not true, darling. What you'll find is as you get serious about building your online transformational business and you make service and money a priority, equally important, where you don't somehow think that, oh, because you want to help people, that sets you up for the money. No, that's just one part of it. The other part is the business acumen, actual business intelligence, money-making intelligence, business structure. What is your package? What is the cost? How many is sold for you to make $10,000 a month? How will you market? On what platforms? In what way? What feels good to you? On what days? What's your consistent plan? What are your numbers? Like business acumen, business acumen, business acumen. When you decide that you will develop the business acumen and the spiritual intelligence and knowledge that you have and bring them to the internet in a structured, organized way, not just getting on here and blabbering and thinking people are going to show up, but in a strategic, organized way. You think I just randomly decide to put the link with this video so you can enter your email? No, there's a whole psychology and reason behind that. Okay? People all over the world are going to see you. Are you ready for a woman from Sweden to contact you and say, I saw your video, you mentioned your program, your 90-day program to help women do this. How much is that? Or whatever other questions she had. Are you ready for some woman from South Africa to contact you and be like, I would like to know more. How do I sign up? Or thank you so much for this knowledge. I've been stressing about that, and you changed my life with this, and I've been watching you for 6 months, and I just found out about you a week ago, and thank you so much. Are you ready? Are you ready for somebody from France to contact you and sign up with you? Are you ready? You see what I'm saying? Are you ready? Do you have your package together with your link, right? Where it's clear what's involved and you can talk about it with ease, put the price tag on it with ease, receive the money with it with ease, and do that. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, Satori, like, are you ready for that? This is what I'm talking. I'm getting chills as I'm saying this. So this must be landing with somebody here, or will land with somebody here. So this is what I mean by who will you be? Will you be the person who develops the business acumen, which you learn with me? Learn it from a melanin woman who's been, I already see where the gap is. I see where the gap is, right? Being inside of these $30,000 business coaching programs where I'm the only one, the leader is barely seeing me because she doesn't even know that she's racist, right? She doesn't even know. And I'm not going to even say nothing to her about it because I'm not interested in talking to you about your racism. I'm here to get my money up. I'm here to learn and see what you can teach me. Like, and to even think like that, most Black people just ain't gonna fuck with her. But I've been able to look past that. You see that? And then, so that's one reason why you don't see us winning. And then for every other reason that I mentioned earlier in this video. And you will have challenges. But guess what? It's going to be a hell of a lot harder you out here in these streets by yourself trying to YouTube it and free webinar it to your first $5,000 month, to your first $10,000 month. Your money is not only going to come from people who look like you, darling. Your money is not only going to come from people who look like you. Melanin folk, what I'm telling you is in the United States, so let me position this so you can have some perspective here. So August of last year, I came back here to the United States. Prior to that, I was living between Italy and France for the last 4 years, right? And I would come to the United States for different things, VIP days, to see my parents, or my mom particularly, business conferences, things like that. And living between Italy and France, I also traveled to other places, right? Because that's what you do when you're in Europe. Everything is so nearby. You just sort of start visiting Austria, London, right? Like that kind of a thing. And what I've come to know is that here in America, there's such a Black identity. So in Africa, there's no Black identity. Remember that was Ngozi, I can't remember her name. But if you saw her, you know what I was talking about. She said she didn't realize she was Black until she came to the United States, or was it London? And that's because there's a Black identity here in the United States. It's just black, 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 black. But in Africa, there's no Black identity because every fucking body is Black, right? I mean, and don't get all, particular here. I'm aware there's a lot of white people in Africa as well, right? But you know what I mean, right? These are African women who were born and raised in Africa, and they didn't have this idea of Blackness until they left Africa and came either to the London or UK or the United States. So here in the United States, us American Black transformational leaders, we constantly look at things through a Black lens. We're constantly looking at things through a Black lens. I'll get to you in just a moment, Olivia. And so how that ends up showing up in our businesses is we are looking through a Black lens. So that's why I say we won't expect people who look like us to buy from us. We think that only people who look like us are listening to us. We think only people who look like us respect us and will buy from us and pay attention to us. And what I'm telling you as a global woman is that is not true. When you get out of that, right, and you really start to come into this power that I teach you, that's of a much higher lens, that's beyond the identity of Blackness, beyond any identity, frankly. And you're tapped into the highest dimensions of power, which are colorless, which are, not of, construct. You will naturally start to attract people who are not American. and who don't look like you. I'm telling you, that's how it will go. My clients have been from all over the world. Women whose English is not even their first language. I've had clients from Poland, Germany, Africa, Paris, Canada, Hawaii. Like, so this is one of the values. Like, it's, man, you get such, and you got to hear me on this, you get such extreme value when you work closely with me, because there's a way that too many of us think that's so flawed and is so in conflict with being able to be who's required of you to be to create the money. I have such a high lens, such a wide lens. I have such development and power over my emotions that I'm not, taken out by them. So many of you are taken out by your emotions. You're taken out by spiritual attacks. You're taken out by happenings in the world. Now, when I saw the video of George Floyd, just to talk about just being human, right? This is not, I'm not saying learn to be stoic here. So I saw George Floyd's video, but before I saw the murder of George Floyd, there'd be other videos that you guys have probably seen of other black men being shot in the back, killed. And I stopped watching them. I remember after I saw, is that Eric Gardner, the black man who was chokehold to death in New York? That was the last video I saw of a black man being killed. And after that, I was like, I'm cool. I'm not watching this. I'm not watching these. So every time another one would come out, people would be like, did you see the video? No, I didn't see it. I'm choosing not to watch that because I'm highly sensitive and I'm not watching that, right? And something allowed me to watch the George Floyd video. And I talked about this over on my personal page where I was out of it. The next day after I saw the video, I couldn't even get anything done. I couldn't function. I literally ate breakfast and got back into bed. And I was just, so I'm not saying you're not going to feel things, right? What I'm saying is learning how to feel and then how to look at what you feel through a higher lens versus the typical woe is me. The typical, why me? Oh God, right? And it's another thing to like feel it and go through the feeling and feel horrible. But when you come out, when you're doing it right, you come out better. That's how you know you're doing it right. You come out better, higher, cleaner, more refined, more astute, more eloquent. That's how you know you're doing it right, okay? Let me come see. Asiri. Is it Asiri or Asira? I'm glad you resonate with this. Olivia said, wait, hold on, let me open this up. Sounds like that's one of the second order effects here in the world. People ready to seek out melanin leadership as a first choice. I mean, they're late, but they're getting to it. Talking in business context, but what's showing up for me is the romantic side. Talk about it, Olivia. What about it? The unconscious belief that I am desired only as a friend. Okay. Are you? Yep, I've been receiving that knowing too. Emotions are not wrong, but they can be a problem. And learning how emotions are always an invitation. So I can teach. Yeah, there's just so much to learn, and it's why I was saying so much, what was that, like 2 weeks ago, that it's going to take you a minimum of 2 years of working with me. This is a long game. This is a long game. This is not like a 90-day quick start program and, oh, you have all the money in your bank account. This is a long game. I have been at this since 2011. I've been down, honey. I have been in places where I was drinking myself to sleep. You hear me? I was in Bali last summer deciding if I was even going to stay on planet Earth. And I wasn't even sad like that. I mean, it wasn't even from a bad place. It was just like, am I really going to be here and play this high game? Am I going to be available to the inevitable spiritual attacks that will come with playing a high game? With being bright and brightening others? Am I really going to play this game? So Asira, Olivia, whoever else is watching this as a replay, if you have had your own spiritual attacks and you feel like you're mature and you would like to be on my team, and there's different ways to be on the team. You might not be like fully onboarded payroll employee, but there's other ways you can be involved to help spread this to melanin messengers and enroll them. I'm looking for salespeople right now, by the way. So a social seller, someone who engages, and I'll give you all the details, but just to drop this seed right here, it's time. I was talking to my mom this morning and I'm like, Mom, it's time for more good. It's time for me to, like me and the people who I'm meant to talk to really get out here and rise up, because there's a war for sure going on with evil right now. Make no mistake. There is a serious war with evil. And when you know how the laws work, right? First, there's the highest law, the all that manifests all universe, that manifests all the laws that we're aware of. Law of gender, law of polarity, law of cause and effect, law of reciprocity. Like all those laws and all universes are descendants and manifestations of the all, okay? Are you guys familiar with the all? Asira, Olivia, who else is here? Because that's the premise that I operate from. I live from the all, and that's a lifestyle. That's a long game play. That's a long game play, and there's so much brightness. There's so much brightness. There's so much brightness, and the money that's going to be meaningful and feel good to you is going to come from brightness. Cynthia, have we met? I don't think I've ever even seen your name. Like, you see what I'm saying? So I'm really excited to help you come into the kind of power where making good money is just a natural byproduct of your way of being. Your way of being as a leader, your way of being in how you speak and how you decide, right? And you're not going to be perfect. Like I know a lot of women are afraid of getting it wrong, and I know, right? I know, right? Getting it wrong, of looking bad, of making a mistake and all that. Like, that's okay. Believe me, you're not going to get anywhere. And you're old enough to know and to be experienced enough to know already that you're not going to get anywhere that far, that meaningful, without making some mistakes along the way. And mistakes are feedback. It's feedback about, okay, who am I being? What am I doing? So do you guys, I think that's it for now. The link is, I don't think I put it with this video, but as soon as I hang up here, I will. So those of you watching the replay, you'll have it. And more to come. I'll be here live next Monday. That's the last day of the epic Melanin Dreams series. Do you guys like that name? I love it. Epic Melanin Dreams. Why do I feel the need to give it rhythm like that when I say it? I just do. Epic Melanin Dreams. Wow. Oh, I saw a video yesterday. Did you guys see it? It was a bunch of black people, men, women, and children. They had on all black. They were tap dancing. Say his name! Say his name! Say his name! It went viral. Did you guys see that? Eric Garner, say his name. Eric Garner, say his name. Sandra Bland, say her name. Say her name. I was getting chills. I was crying. Woo! And they was tap dancing, and they was rotating, taking turns, tap dancing. Eric Garner, say his name. Eric Garner, say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Oh, it was powerful. I'm getting chills right now while I'm saying it. Working past the fear. Yeah, you'd be better off working past the fear inside of a container, Cynthia. Otherwise, you end up going in circles, which you probably have been. So you can Google the all. The all is, you can, it's Hermetic Teachings. Hermetic Teachings. So if you want to look up Hermetic laws, it's worth your time. I tell you that. It's worth your time, particularly if you are, and if you're, many are called if you are chosen. So if it's for you, you'll know. You know, if it calls you, like I already just said it and you just responded, so there's some kind of calling for you there. And as you get into it more, if it's really for you, it will be made evident. It's one of those kind of things, you know? Make money with you. Sharing your message would be awesome sauce. Hey, word up. So I recommend a Siri, I think it is, a Siri, that you inbox me here on Facebook. Let me know what skill you have. A very, you know, simple message, thoughtful but simple, and let me know what's your skill in the sales department, in the marketing department, online business, because that's what I'm teaching you guys how to do, how to make good money online. You can live anywhere in the world. I mean, like, we're talking like that. Through your signature intelligence, okay? And who you be. Olivia, no, not that directly, peace. What were we referring to, Olivia, when you said no, not that directly? I love that you guys, you know, because I haven't seen that one yet. Oh, the video? Okay, wonderful. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I think I'm getting ready to go have another cup of coffee. And if you have not already, literally, as soon as we hang up here, I'm going to put the link with this video. And if you haven't already, send me your email. And if you see yourself being a part of the a social seller team here with the message, and would like to discuss that more with me, inbox me here on Facebook. But if you're a quitter, if you're known to be a quitter, like if you know yourself to be a quitter, and are unwilling to work through things that feel hard, right? Things that are stretching you, and do me a favor and don't inbox me, okay? These times, the depth of these times really require women who have the ability to be warriors and be soft, like really be able to hold polarity and extremes within yourself, like be able to lay down and be soft and be gentle and take your time and be compassionate, right? And be able to slice a throat if necessary, you know? Be able to make a hard and fast decision. Be able to put an anchor down in the ground. Be able to go, right? Like, these times are really killing people who don't have the skill, the emotional skill, the skill of resilience, the skill of emotional intelligence, the skill of being able to be with everything. Like, these people are literally dying. People are dying, okay? And over here, the power that's here, really, it's gonna wipe you out. You're gonna quit before you even get started if you're not willing to really step into the power that may or may not be in you. Like, you know, may or may not be in you. So have high self-awareness as you're considering inboxing me. Are you really about it? You know, do you see where there's so much in you, so much power, deep, high power in you that you've just yet to tap into? Like, if that's you, okay, yeah, I invite you. But if you're just somebody who like kind of just comes here to get fed, and it makes you feel powerful and alive and wonderful, but you know at a deep level that you're not one of those ones, yeah, you can miss me on the inbox, okay? Wonderful. All right, beauties, have a great weekend. I'll be here next Monday, same time, same place. Thank you.